All right, ladies and gentlemen. So again, today we're talking about BODMAS, okay, PEMDAS rule, okay, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, addition, subtraction, okay? So here we have square root of 16 over 25 times, because you guys should remember all the time when you have the bracket, and the bracket does the same work as what? The parentheses, okay? So that means multiplying by 2/3 squared, okay, the whole fraction, minus 1 over 2 times 3/4, and then you close parentheses. So how do we go about this problem? Because a lot of times people make a mistake, they just jump on it, and then afterwards the answer is wrong. But PEMDAS rules actually helps you to go through it. So we always got to go where? Inside the brackets or the parentheses first, all right? So we go inside, but even when you go inside, you still have to do what? Follow the order of operations. Which one comes first? And remember, the difference between what? For addition and subtraction, whichever comes first from the left to the right, and also multiplication and division, whichever comes first, okay? So let's go for it. Now, what can we do here? Can we do the square here? Yes, we can. All right, so let's just worry about that first, okay? Then we can worry about anything else after that. So we have 16 over 25, then we have the square root right in there, then times 2 over 3 squared. That means what? That means you multiply 2 over 3 by itself, right? So that means you're doing 2 over 3 times 2 over 3 minus 1 over 2 times 3 over 4. So ladies and gentlemen, we're taking one step at a time, okay? I know you can jump on some of these operations here, but not yet, okay? So let's go for it. So this one then, so let's focus on what we have inside there. So this is again 16, square root of 16 over 25, then times, so what's happening here? So we're multiplying straight across, always, right? Top number by top number, bottom by the bottom number. So we have 2 by 2, which is what? 4 over 9. Then minus 1 over 2 times 3/4 over here. Now, the common mistake that people is going to make is what? Subtracting 4 over 9 and 1 over 2. You do that, ladies and gentlemen, you are definitely wrong. You're going to get a wrong answer. So order of operations says what? Because you have multiplication, you have to do this one before the subtraction. All right? So let's keep going. We then have square root of 16 over 25. And then you keep the 4 over 9. And what's happening here? We multiply straight across. Okay? So that would give you what? Negative 1 by 3 is 3 over 2 by 4, which is 8. Remember, you need to get out of the bracket only one number. And that's the reason why we kept breaking it down. So let's keep going. Now we move on to this side. So 4 over 9 minus 3 over 8. So these two numbers here, what's happening to these two numbers here? So you end up having two fractions. But before you can add or subtract two fractions, what's going to happen? You got to find the lowest common denominator, right? They need to have the same number at the bottom here and the lowest one. Now, we end up with 9 and 8. So what will be the lowest common denominator between 9 and 8? Now, we have in previous videos, that you guys can go back to. We're going to put it out there for you guys when it comes to adding and subtracting two fractions. But in this case here, 9 and 8 do not have anything in common, right? Because they don't have anything in common, what you can always do is what? Is multiply 9 by 8. And then that will be 8. All right? So you can always do that. So once we get back here, this is equal to what? Square root of 16 over 25. Okay? Then the lowest common denominator will be just the, when you multiply these two together. So 9 by 8 is going to give us what? Ladies and gentlemen, remember your multiplication, okay? We're not using calculators, all right? So 9 by 8 is going to give us what? 72. Right, so that'll give us 72. So 72, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be your lowest common denominator. So that's your LCD, which is 72. And the 72 came from where? Multiplying these two numbers together, right? 8 times 9. Okay? So if that's what you have, so that means in this case, you have no more 9 underneath. So this is going to become what? 72 at the bottom. And then minus, then you also have 72 here, okay? And then what's happening on the top of these two numbers? Now we have to make adjustments. And how do we make adjustments, if you guys remember? You take the 72, which is your lowest common denominator, divided by 9, which is what? Which is 8, and 8 times 4, right? So it's 4 times 8 here. And do the same thing for the second fraction. So 72 divided by 8, which is 9, so 9 by 3, it's going to give us 27. So you have 27, and you keep moving. So now, yeah, we should have put the numbers, but that's fine. We can keep going on this one. So 25. And then what's happening? 4 times 8, 32 over 72. And then we can just subtract with 27, right? Now 72 can just be underneath the denominator, right? So if you have 72 here, so 32 minus 27 will give us what? Will give us 5, okay? So you end up with square root of 16. Now, even here, ladies and gentlemen, what can we do? As we get in close to the answer, what we can also do is to find, to begin to work on this one as well, okay? So that you don't have to drag it all around. So this one is what? This one is just the same thing as having square root of 16 over square root of 25. Okay, then we have the brackets. And then we said 32 minus 27 is going to give us what? It's going to give us 5. So this is 5 over 72. All right. And then we get going. And square root of 16 is what? It's 4 over square root of 25 is 5. Then we're multiplying that by 5 over 72. Are we good? Now, what can we do here? We can simplify because this is multiplication. Whatever we can simplify, we do that. So that means 5 and 5 can be crossed out. And then you're ending up with 4 over 72, right? So this one is 4 over 72. And can you reduce this one? Is there any number that can divide 4 and 72 evenly? And ladies and gentlemen, that's the reason why we need to know our multiplication table. Okay? So can 4 go into 72 evenly? You just got to try, okay? Or even if it's 2, because these two numbers are even numbers. So because the two of them are even numbers, that means 2 can go into the two of them evenly. If you don't know if 4 can go into these two evenly, at least try 2. And why? Again, is because 4 is an even number, 72 is also an even number. So now let's try with the 4 here, okay? So if we say 4, so now we're doing this manually again, okay? So we're saying 72 going into 4. So 4 divided by both of them, right? 4 divided by 4 is going to give us 1. And then 72 divided by 4. So 72 divided by 4, so what's happening? 4 and 72. So what's happening here? So 4 goes into 7 how many times? 1 time. So 1 by 4 is 4. So we subtract it, we got 3. Carry the 2 down. And then 4 goes into 32 how many times? 8 times. So 8 by 4, 32. And then this 0. So that means you end up with what? 1 over 18. And this is your final answer. We do not need this one. And this is 1 over 18. And this is actually your final answer, ladies and gentlemen. But let me tell you something. We went step by step in this case so that we learn what we are doing. But now, when you know what you're doing, there are some of these steps that you can always skip. But at this point, we keep it this way. All right? So our final answer, 1 over 8. Thank you.